starting to feel a little bit sad and a little bit brokenhearted in some ways about this flood of people who are leaving the 2x2 culture, leaving the fellowship, and they're not leaving as Christians or born-again believers. They are leaving as agnostics or atheists, non-believers. And it puzzles me, and yet it doesn't, because I think people don't want tricked again. They don't ever want tricked by God or man. And so they're hyper vigilant, hyper careful what they believe. I had the hiccups. And a friend was commiserating with me. She said, oh, they're not leaving as believers. They're leaving, which is good, but they're not leaving as believers. And I'm going to rabbit trail just for a minute. I saw a video by someone I love to follow. Her name is Ruth Ann Zimmerman. Her channel is called Homesteading with the Zimmermans. She and her husband were Old Order Mennonite. Very, very, very legalistic and very rule-based, very works-based situation, much like the 2x2s. And she said something so profound. She said, we were raised to follow the rules, not follow God. And I will link that interview that she did with Justin Rhodes. I will put a link to it in the comments. But boy, that hit me like a lead balloon, because when I stood up to profess, I've told you this before, I was a Christian. I grew up in a works-based legalistic church, but I was a born-again Christian. When I stood up, it was very, very clear to me by both Darlene Cheek and Kay Stout that I was saying yes to the rules and the beliefs of this system. There was no talk of being born again or following Jesus or being a believer or being a Christian. It was, when I stood up, I knew, and everyone in the room knew, and the workers knew, that I was dedicating my life to follow the beliefs of this culture, which are, I believe in the ministry, 2x2 ministry, and meeting in the home. That's what's the right thing. That's the truth. And you must believe the truth. And that saved was never a word that was used. But I knew very well what I was doing. I was like, I'm joining a church. I'm going to follow these rules. I am going to join what they do and what they believe. I'm joining myself to them. It was kind of like a covenant marriage, or a covenant, attachment. So to get back to when people leave meeting, and they don't leave as born-again believers, Christians, they're not saved. They for some reason, God hasn't revealed himself to them. I don't know why. He did me or several other people I know, and hasn't others. I don't understand that. I never will on this side of heaven. But the comforting thing I told my friend is, the people who are leaving as unbelievers, there's no difference between them being in the group, the fellowship, or out. They were unbelievers in the group, and nothing has changed for them except they're not deceived anymore by the lies and delusion and deception and the high control authority that the workers had on their lives. They're released from all of that, which is a good thing. And so their unbelief isn't different. It's just changed from believing in the 2x2 ministry, meeting in the homes, and everything the workers say needs obeyed. They have released the bad parts, and they're going into kind of a nothingness, but at least they're not tricked or deceived. And I don't know why, but that really comforted me. I was like, you know what? And I pray for everybody that I love and know who has been really hurt and harmed by the system. And I pray that God will woo them and win them and reveal himself to them. I pray for that all the time. We know a lot of people, and we love a lot of people, and we're connected to a lot of people. And I want to love them where they are and just kind of, reach out a hand to walk beside them where they are, as they are. And it's not my job to fix anybody or have anybody for a project or save anybody. It's not my job at all. And that was a huge relief for me. I was like, phew. Anyways, I wish you were here. This is my favorite tea. It's called Good Earth Sweet and Spicy Decaf. And this is my favorite cup. And it has lots of ice in it. Here's to life. L'chaim.